Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with the kill count. Today's kill count is Ice 9 kills, the Silver Scream. So, no idea what's going on here. Ice 9 kills, I'm not sure, but with the title like this, it's definitely a band. So, we got from a video game to Mexican movie to music. At least that's where I'm thinking this is going so far, but I'm just trying to remember, okay? Anyway, let's get to it. Let's see how many people die during the Silver Scream. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. Here we go.
Welcome to the Kill Count,
Hey,
where
James.
we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror media. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at the 5 music videos released by Ice 9 Kills from their 2018 album, The Silver Scream. Ice 9 Kills is a band led by Spencer Charnas, who started it as a high schooler in 2000. After some ska punk years, they veered towards metal, then added more theatricality and gimmicks. It began with their first album under Fearless Records, 2015's Every Trick in the Book, where each song was based on a novel like Dracula or Animal Farm. And when I say they got gimmicky, I don't mean it in a negative way. Sometimes you need a gimmick to get people to check out your work.
True.
A gimmick like, counting kills. Their 2018 follow-up, The Silver
Business!
Scream, put Ice 9
Not
Kills
good.
on another level, both thematically and in popularity, since it became their best-selling album at the time. Each of its 13
nice
songs
job.
is about a different horror movie, from The Shining to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Since then, Ice 9 Kills has become a welcome part of the horror world. Dead Meat fans encouraged us to interview Spencer on the podcast, and ever since then, we've been good friends with him and his partner Nadia. Inc. released 5 music videos of songs from the album, with an overarching plotline involving Spencer seeing a therapist. What is this, The Sopranos? The songs
Might as well
reference
be.
horror hits like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and It, and the videos see Spencer reenacting these films, mostly as deranged nightmares. The Silver Scream plays out like fan fiction of sorts, but every song and video is made with love. Ice 9 Kills isn't just trying to tap into a pre-made fan base using the horror genre. Spencer is a lifelong fan who finally gets to let his horror freak flag fly proudly, all while
not?
introducing his own fan base and fellow band members to the genre.
I never really met anyone in my friend groups that loved horror. I was always the one that kind
Really?
of like beat it over their head, like, you guys gotta watch this. And whether they liked it
So,
or not,
like,
I just
watch
made
it,
them
watch
watch
it,
it. And
watch
that's
it,
kind of
watch
just
it.
been my story for the rest of my life.
His interest in horror had been present in his work since at least their second album in 2010, with the song Buildings Burn, People Die, named after a quote from The Crow.
Buildings burn, people die, but real love is forever.
He's always worn his fandom on his sleeve, and now his love of horror is part of his career. Trust me, I can respect that.
Yes, I'm
What the-
sure you can. Mr. Janice, you've been coming to this office for 6 years telling me about these kill counts, as you call them, and
6
we've been making no progress
Goddamn.
towards your delusions of YouTube fame.
Oof.
Actually, I'm glad you interrupted me, because I forgot to talk about today's sponsor, Fume.
You know you are paying for this appointment, right?
Fume is a new approach to breaking bad habits, but unlike the old approaches that involve chemicals, vapors, and electronics, Fume is completely natural, using only flavored air. Tell me, Doc, are there any
Flavored
bad
air?
habits you've been trying to break?
Well, not that it's any of your business, but I have been trying to drink less, though I am a bit of a drink girly and I do like having something fun to sip on.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting a fun little flavor throughout your day. But now you can get it in a much more controlled way. Plus, if you're anything like me,
I pray that I'm not.
you can be a bit of a fidgeter when you're stressed. But the Fume is also great to fidget with. Seriously, I was expecting to just keep this in my pocket when I wasn't using it. But it feels good in your hand. And with movable parts and magnets, it's a great little fidget toy.
Yes, well, I suppose I'll
Could
look
be.
into this Fume device after we're done discussing your...
Great! Switching to Fume is easy, and with 100,000 customers and thousands of success stories, that can be you too. You can try the Journey Pack for 10% off by going to tryfume.com/deadmeat10 or scanning the QR code and using code deadmeat10 to get 10% off. Huh. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the kill count.
I really think we should discuss your...
How many kills can you fit into
There
a
we go.
series of music
We're back.
videos? You might be surprised. Let's get to them.
Okay. Interesting segue into the sponsorship, which, Fume, huh. I meant to look that up. I don't know, it just seems kind of interesting. It's just me. So, 5 music videos. We're about to see how many people died during that. Definitely a first again. Let's see it. Here we go, Ice 9 Kills. We'll see what you got. Wonder if it's gonna be more than 9 kills. Let's-
The series begins with a music video for The American Nightmare, lead single
first
off
up.
the album, no relation to Cody Rhodes. Spencer Charnas, so-called burgeoning rock star, is seeing a new therapist.
I call you Spencer.
Sure, everyone calls me Spencer.
Excellent.
Dr. Ian Black here is an insecure psychologist, which is a lot less fun to deal with than a frontier psychiatrist. Seriously though, dude's a dick.
Karen, you have a beautiful mouth. Pick up a telephone and let's see if we can make it do something useful, shall we?
He's hoping he can ride Spencer's mental problems straight to the bank and get published like his rival colleagues have. Spencer's been having disturbing nightmares, and the first one he relays is about a girl being hunted by a murderous dream demon. The girl is played by Jessa Smith Campbell, who's double
Friday
casting
the
as
13th,
Black's
they're
receptionist
doing
Karen
nightmares.
is lampshaded.
She actually looks very similar to your receptionist.
She's the only one in town who knows the dead teenager epidemic isn't self-inflicted. I repeat, is not
Not
self-inflicted.
self-inflicted.
You hear me, YouTube? Instead, these teens are being murdered by a bastard of Elm Street. The deaths upset her, so she tries to sleep it off, only for the dream demon to pop up and suck her through his bed hole. It's a nod to Glenn's fate in A Nightmare
Glenn.
on Elm Street, only without the upside-down room and gallons of blood. She strikes out attacking the demon, who is of course Spencer himself in Freddy Krueger makeup. Spencer Krueger not only interrupts her sleep, he's invading her TV time too. He chases her up and down a dark street in the suburbs, but she wakes up IRL before the knockoff can knock off this final girl. She realizes she can pull him into her world, bitch, and springs a plan to beat him down with a baseball bat. But Spencer says this is the part of the dream where he always wakes up, robbing us of a conclusion to this narrative. Dr. Black gets Spencer to agree to months of expensive therapy and tells him to get some drugs from his colleague Dr. Nancy Stonebridge, a psychiatrist. She's played by Nadia Teichman, Spencer's real-life partner and a gregarious gem of a human being. Based on his violent dream, Dr. Black thinks Spencer is a budding psychopathic murderer. It's the perfect answer to his career slump, as he plans to write about Spencer and become rich and famous. Obviously, kill counts are
Something
narrative.
tells me that
These
psychiatrist
are
is going to be
music
the one
videos,
that's
so
going
I
to be
want
the
to
evil
comment
guy.
on the song.
Not Spencer.
Even though, and I must stress this, I am not a music critic. I've always been open to metal, although it was usually of the new variety, a la System of a Down, one of my favorite bands. Still, in college, I
I think
drove
the
to
only one
Cleveland to
I've
see
watched
Symphony
that's metal,
X, so
in
the
a way,
theatrical
is
metal
like
of Ice Nine
Fozzy, you
Kills
know.
instantly
Judas
appealed to me.
in,
Not to dig a hole
Judas
with
in
metal
my
fans,
mind.
but I think
That-
their music
that's
is
it.
considered metalcore, an apparently divisive subgenre that's a crossover between heavy metal and hardcore punk. Of course, everyone has their own idea of what that means exactly, or which bands that includes. I don't really care what you call this music, because I like it either
got
way.
nothing.
Spencer's clean vocals are wonderful to listen to, especially during the enjoyably catchy chorus.
I'm the American nightmare with American dreams of killing the bodies while you kill shame.
They're exceptionally complemented by the screams and growls of Justin DeBleek, aka JD, vocalist and lead guitarist for the band from 2009 to 2019. It's beautiful when JD and
Why do I
Spencer
stop?
are screaming and growling in unison. Also, as a wannabe drummer, I really like Patrick Galanti's little tom run here. The lyrics are a lot of fun for horror fans, with kill count like wordplay, and
Yeah, I get
narratives
it.
about these
Praise it.
horror
That's great.
characters. It's an excellent execution of horror in the metal style, combining two fan bases that have a lot of overlap. I often think of them as belonging to a Venn diagram along with pro wrestling. Where do you fall? Because I'm right here in the middle. The next video begins with
I
a
think I'm more
newscaster
in the
spoiling
wrestling
my
camp.
fun,
I don't know.
so I'm gonna blur out his kill count in lower third. He's talking about murders at a summer camp, meaning we in the Jason era of the Silver Scream. Hell, it starts with a
13th,
fireside
baby.
acoustic session, just like when they were rowing the boat ashore in the opening of the original Friday the 13th. Appropriately, this video for Thank God It's Friday was released on Friday, July 13th in 2018. This is another nightmare as described by Spencer, who's been on tour in Texas, the same place those reported campground murders took place. His dream casts him, Nadia, receptionist Karen, and his bandmates as camp counselors who are about to get keyed for doing drugs and having sex. First to go is bassist Justin Morrow while he's taking a whiz. Jason slashes him
Bye,
with
Morrow.
his machete and really revels in the blood splatter. Morrow was the bassist in Ice Nine Kills for 10 years, from 2009 to 2019. After Silver Scream's release, he left
they
the
just
band
stopped?
amicably to join Motionless in White, who have the same producer as Ink, Drew Folk. This was the same time JD left the band to focus on writing, producing, and mixing music. He reunited with Justin with his work on Motionless in White's albums Disguise and Scoring the End of the World. Drummer Patrick Galanti sneaks off with a counselor played by Jessa Smith Campbell,
you know who
meaning
he
there are
is,
Jack and Marcy of this imagining. Oh, I guess that makes Justin Ned. That sucks. Sorry, Justin. Jason chops down the imitation bacon, dropping Galanti to the ground like a
Patrick?
beat. After a short chase, he catches up to and kills Karen the
She gets
reception counselor
trips.
with a
What?
stomach stab.
That's 4.
Camp counselors Spencer and Nadia do a joint final girl circuit where they discover JD's body next to Campbell's in
5.
some deep shadows. Definitely missed it in my first watch through. Our heroes escape on a boat, leaving a very disappointed Jason behind. Friggin' after I come all the way out here with my axe.
Taking the line on my head, this
I know
sucks.
Jason's terrified of water.
That got me.
Oh, just kidding! This video ends the same way the first 3 Fridays do, with a jump scare. And I'll go ahead and put Dream, Spencer, and Nadia on the count. Not that I can double check that number with the newscasters. For some reason he had 7, even though I only counted 6. There are only 6 people at that campsite, guy. Where'd the extra body come from? Hope that mofo writes better than he counts, since it's a
kidding.
character named Roy Merkin, who's also the credited author of the novelization of these music videos. All 5 videos were directed by Daniel Hurahan, who had to wade into the lake and find their one and only hockey mask when it fell off during a take of the canoe jump scare. These were low-budget productions, at least at first, but thankfully they got some free set deck at their shooting location, the abandoned Camp Winnetasca in Ashland, Massachusetts. Though it had closed 3 years earlier in 2015, there were still children's finger paintings left behind.
We definitely kind of lucked out with some really great production value for little cost in terms of the filming of the story.
The first 2 videos were filmed within a week and came out while Ice 9 Kills was doing Warped Tour. Spencer says he noticed an impact right away.
Kids already knew the words, and the video had just come out a couple of days before.
As far as my inexpert opinion about the song goes, I like it. The lyrics frame
like
Jason
everything.
as the mama's boy he is, with Pamela Voorhees getting to say the track title.
It's Friday.
They also make sure to mention the thing that bothers Jason the most. I love how the chorus is introduced as a campfire tune before it's sung for the rest of the song. My favorite part of the song might be the shout out to my man Crazy Ralph.
Never come back again.
And of course, no Friday song would be complete without a Kiki Ki Ma Ma Ma. Finally, the song features an orchestral outro.
I just couldn't have noticed.
It's sappy and extensive, a perfect nod to Harry Manfredini's score
So notice how
preceding the
Spencer
Swamp
was,
Boy
like,
Jason
holding the
jump scare. With
machete.
such a downer ending to his dream, Dr. Black picks and prods at Spencer's past. Spencer is evasive and leaves for his next show in LA, but not before spying on his quack and listening to him over a mic he planted in his office. Dr. Black turns this into spy versus spy, but he's so fucking bad at it. Makes me mad. He follows Spencer to Jocko's Bar and Kitchen in Waltham, Massachusetts. It's hard to hear over the walla, but the song playing there is actually She's the Same, the first song Ice 9 ever wrote back in 2000 or 2001. It's definitely
That'll-
a different sounding band.
I don't know if I can trust her, but I guess she's all I got.
Spencer winds up drugging the doc's drink at the bar, and when Dr. Black chugs it, we blurrily transition into the song. A Grave Mistake is inspired by The Crow, a movie I've sadly never talked about on this channel. For the record, it rules, even though it has an awful fake Detroit. Like that movie, this song's
Yeah,
video
poor
starts
Brandon
with
Lee,
2
though.
kills done by
what
criminals.
happened.
They murder Nadia's and
Two.
Spencer's characters in black and white. Spencer returns from the grave and clowns out in the mirror until he's looking like Sting. He intercepts an alleyway mugging and kicks some ass while a drugged out Dr. Black watches from his ass. One guy pulls out a blade, but that only gets him killed via
There we
knife
go.
stabbing. His bud
Definitely
gets
more
stomped to
than
death.
9
pretty
now.
Sure, judging by the red screen there. By the time Dr. Black awakens from the drugs, there's no evidence of Spencer's face-painted ass kicking. The news implies he wound up hanging the muggerfuckers from streetlights. But go ahead and keep stalking this likely killer guy. I'm sure that'll end great for you. A grave mistake.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still thinking that it's actually the psychiatrist that's gone. You know? And $5 said Spencer's the actual psychiatrist. That would be ironic. Can you imagine? Anyway,
Steak might have the most radio-friendly mass appeal sound, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. I love the acoustic build right off the bat, especially with Spencer singing.
But I heard that you reap what you sow. So around and around we go.
It never gets super hard and there's no screaming, but sometimes I can go for more of a rock sound, whatever.
With weathered wings and broken bones, a fight for the fallen flies the crow.
They filmed this video after they returned from Warped Tour when it was clear they were onto something. The band performance was filmed atop a building in the Theater District side of Boston's Chinatown, although the stock footage shown is of Baltimore, I guess because that's what was available. And eagle-eyed viewers may note that it's not actually Spencer doing those kicks in the alleyway fight scene. It's his stunt double, Matt Healy.
That's not me.
But it's also not that Matt Healy, so don't go hitting up Tay-Tay with questions.
Sorry,
For
Matt.
some reason, Spencer and Dr. Black keep up this ruse for another session. The doc pokes at his past, so Spencer describes a nightmare he has where he's a child, ushering in the video for Stabbing in the Dark. In
Okay,
it, kid Spencer's
Pennywise?
babysitting sister and her friends get stalked by a shadow man.
never mind,
Spencer
Michael
plays
Myers.
the shadow man, naturally, a version of Michael Myers, who has the blackest eyes. Fuck yeah, dude! The Shape kicks things off by killing a prison guard in a gruesome way, tearing
Whoa.
out his devil's eyes. Yeah, get gross with it.
damn.
That prison guard is played by
Yeah,
Ricky Dean Logan, who played Carlos in Freddy's Dead: The Final
Nice
Nightmare.
hearing from you,
Logan would
Carlos.
work with Spencer again
Yeah, I
in
just say-
videos for Silver Scream 2: Welcome to Horrorwood, which
Carlos.
also features various horror legends and a couple of very lucky horror YouTubers. Clad in an Ice 9 Michael Myers mask, the Shape stalks young Spencer and his sister, played by Nadia. She has a bunch of friends over who are all horned up, so this killer's gotta teach them a phallic lesson. The record label was hesitant to let them use a Michael Myers mask, but Spencer bluffed his way into getting permission. He said
Really?
it was okay because he changed the mask by 20%, a figure he based off what K&B did with the Fun World mask and Scream.
So they had K&B create this 20% tweak. I remember those words stuck with me. So like, I was like, okay, well,
20%.
K&B said all you need is a 20% tweak.
The first to be killed is drummer Patrick Galante, who gets his throat slit
we
by
go
the
again.
Shape from the shadows.
Patrick's down.
After him, 2 girls are killed. One of
See ya.
them played by Jessa Smith Campbell again, after not appearing in the 3rd video. Hope she enjoyed her break. A police report breakdown in the song corresponds with a cop showing up, who also joins the count with a stab to the back. Justin Morrow's still alive, but not for long after
Yeah, you
tripping
know how
on
this
nothing.
jock
That
goes.
allows the
Just
Shapist to murder the
trip
bassist
and
yet
whack.
again. Nadia fights back against the Shape, and the two of them get into quite the chokey match. She comes out on top and ultimately kills the killer. At least I think she does. As she's recovering
say.
though, baby Spencer shows up and stabs Nadia
Oh,
to death
God.
with a kitchen knife, the little Charles Lee Ray. That
Pretty
killer
much
kid's
be
played
Charles
by
Lee
Cameron
Ray.
Taft, the son of Dr. Black's actor, Paul Taft. In the present, Black researches the dream and sees it really happened back in 1994. It also verifies my kill count of 7 for this video. So,
Good job.
thank you for that. Stabbing in the Dark has always been one of my favorite
nice
songs. on
mask in the
album.
background.
There's just so
What
much
is
I
that?
like about it. Right away, I dig the doubling of Spencer's singing with very subtle low vocals.
An evil evolution.
Then during the build, there's a buzzing clock sound when the lyrics talk about time, but it's mixed perfectly and fades out before it gets overpowering.
When the hands of fate from the midnight hour.
The chorus is just as catchy as A Grave Mistakes.
Where the certainty of safety feels like stabbing in the dark.
But the rest of the song goes way harder, which I
I gotta say,
love.
Spencer's got some vocals.
Everyone's given me a lot to listen to,
kidding.
including Galante with those solid kicks. For our fandom familiarity, we get the classic Halloween theme on guitar, and a classic Halloween quote being screamed.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
The wooden pumpkin structure the band plays in front of here is at Haunted Overload in Lee, New Hampshire. You can see more of that place in a video by our friends over at Grim Life Collective. Spencer's been touring in his cute little sleeveless Freddy sweater, but he keeps showing up late with bloody body parts. JD tries to talk to him about it, but soon he and Justin wind up missing, according to a news notification seen by Dr. Black.
Now he's knocking off the band. I'm going to be a bloody millionaire.
By the time they made this video, Justin and JD had left the band, so this off-screen double death was a way of writing them out of the narrative. Dr. Black
Fair
gets
enough.
his head bagged and comes to in a minecart ride. Spencer is also chained up here, as is Dr. Gladstone behind them. Spencer says he didn't do any of this, then gets whisked around to the other side of the
Hey!
wall. Dr. Black's wild ride begins as It Is the End is performed by Pennywise the Clown and his backing band of Georgies. Oh, with a Captain Spaulding horn section too.
Cool.
That's saxophonist Peter J.R. Wasilewski and trombonist Buddy Schaub from Less Than Jake. Fitting, given Ice Nine Kills' start as a ska punk band. This marks the music video debut for the new and current lineup of Ice Nine Kills. Rhythm guitarist Ricky R. Molino did cameo in Stabbing in the Dark, though, as the cop who got stabbed in the
cameo
back.
to band.
Meanwhile, bassist Joe Acuti composed the orchestral ending to Thank God It's Friday before he was ever an official part of the band. Finally, lead guitarist Dan Sugarman has a familiar familial connection to horror. His uncle is Stu Charno, who played the unlikely survivor Ted in
This
Friday the
Stu,
13th
baby.
Part 2.
When we were trying him out, obviously
Nice.
he was an amazing guitarist, but as soon as he told me that his uncle was in Friday the 13th Part 2, I wouldn't have cared if he could play, 2 chords. You're in.
The minecart ride sees 4
Yeah, that seems like a bad, I don't know. I don't think I would have said that to him because, frankly, not the best idea because you still gotta play because, anyway.
bodies on display along the track. 3 women, one of them played by Jessa Smith Campbell again, and one with a bag over its head, so who knows? It was a mannequin on set. Then Dr. Nancy Gladstone is spun around and killed when Spencer's face bursts from her abdomen.
Jesus
Wait, what?
Christ.
In a rarity
Are
for
we
a
sure
kill,
now?
somehow the behind-the-scenes footage makes this even more horrifying to look at. That's all I'll count for kills, though. Even though we see Georgie floating, we don't see him kill.
I mean, not
He's
Hank,
just
but
floating,
he's
man.
good, yeah.
They all float down there. See? After a low-budget start to these videos, this final entry sees the band getting some money to play with.
By the time we got to It Is the End, and we sort of had proven the concept to the label that, wow, these videos are actually starting
Popping
to make the band a lot more popular, they were
Hey,
willing to
you never know if it
fork
works
over
until it
some real
does.
money towards the end.
Now they have the cash for stunt tables and green screen studios, and they definitely made the most of it. You can even hear them laughing out of joy from how good this all looks on set. The ride stuff was filmed at an amusement park called Canopy Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire. Spencer loved filming there since he used to visit it as a high schooler from the nearby town of Swampscott. It Is the End is the most gimmicky song on the album, steeped in circus sounds, including little horns. And yet, it doesn't let that keep it from going pretty hard. Like most songs on the album, its chorus is an earworm, somehow bringing a bright, happy sound to a metal song about a killer clown. Spencer as Pennywise is probably my favorite horror cosplay he does. The makeup is great, and I think this character best matches his vocal performance.
You can trust me, sweet child.
And as a sax player, I'm always a fan of horns in my music, so I really dig Wasilewski's and Schaub's contributions. I couldn't believe it when Spencer let me join the band on stage to play this sax part at Silver Screen Con a few weeks ago. Fucking wild, man. The song ends and Spencer reveals himself as the man behind the grease paint to Dr. Black. He admits to all these murders that he's been describing as mere nightmares and says he's here to get revenge on Dr. Black. Dude's not only a shitty doctor, Spencer blames him for the death of his sister long ago.
I thought you killed them.
Of course not. I was 9. What are you, crazy?
Turns out back in 1994, Dr. Black got a guy named Floyd Schechter released from prison.
Oh,
the guy
Floyd.
would go on to kill Spencer's sister and her friends, just like in the video for Stabbing in the Dark. Because of that, and the whole trying to write a book about him thing, Spencer has already poisoned Dr. Black.
I woke you up and you had 30 minutes to live. About 30 minutes ago.
Spencer leaves as the
Bye-bye,
poison
Spence.
takes over, and Roy Merkin returns in a broadcast to say that Dr. Black was indeed found dead, alongside a note purportedly written by him taking credit for all these kills, including his own. Spencer was the only survivor of the whole ordeal, and after something like that, well, you should probably get some therapy. That's why 3 weeks later, Spencer's already talking to another doctor. Hope this one fares a little better. Probably won't, though. This video's closing
Papa
news report is
says,
one of those
something
cute
else.
ones with its own kill count.
A trail of over 25 bodies across 3 states.
Were they right with that count, or was
Shall
it
we?
journalistic malpractice? Let's find out and...
Get you the number!
Hey, is that actually Spencer? God damn. Nice. I'll stop.
I counted 27 kills in the music
Ooh,
videos
swap.
for the Silver Scream, so I guess that news report was accurate. The dead included 15 men, 10 women, and 2 unknown bodies. Can't really tell.
Maybe
what's in
that's
the
why
bag,
they
you know?
didn't have that.
The victims also included repeat defenders. I counted 2 kills each for drummer Patrick and
and
guitarist JD, 3 kills each for bassist Justin, actress Jessa, and Spencer himself, and
And the
finally,
biggest one?
Nadia took home the gold by getting killed 4 times across these 5 videos. Speaking of which, the kills averaged out to almost 5.5 per video. Not
Damn.
bad. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to prison guard Martinez. Great gore here.
surprised
You
it
know
wasn't the
people get
clown down the
squeamish
stomach,
when it comes to
'cause goddamn.
eyeballs. Also,
Yeah.
that makes Ricky Dean Logan a 2-time golden chainsaw winner. Congrats, dude! Almost ready for lamest kill will actually go to the Shape. I love that Nadia gets to dish out a kill for once, but I wish it were more on screen and bloodier. And
Yeah,
that's it.
can barely
Ice
see
Nine
it.
Kills released the Silver Scream album in 2018 and followed it up with a sequel in 2021 called Welcome to Horrorwood. The videos for that album are even more elaborate, and the final one drops in a couple of weeks on October 13th. After it does, I'll probably kill count that series too. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this kill.
Huh. I gotta say, that was actually pretty good. I love the get to the numbers bit. I gotta love that, you know? Well, we did a video game, we did a music video, and Guillermo del Toro's Mexican debut. I wonder what's next. I gotta say, I'm loving it. I wonder when he's gonna get to the Japanese horrors. Like, think about it. He's got Ringu, Seiyo. I mean, there's a lot of Japanese horror you could do. Battle Royale. There's 2 of them, by the way. What do you guys think? If he had to cover a Japanese horror movie, which one do you think he would do? Let me know. Well, honestly, I think if I had to choose one, I mean, I don't know about Itchy the Killer, because yikes, that'd be just as hell. I don't think YouTube would love that. And honestly, other than that, I can't really think of any. I mean, some of them are just death games, and I mean, there was Train to Busan, but that's Korean, so don't think that counts. What do you guys think? Anyway, ran along enough. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.